Welcome back to Fuel Up Daily. This is where we keep you in the fast lane, delivering everything you need to know about F1 racing. We've got an explosive story for you today, one that's causing shockwaves throughout the F1 community. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because you definitely won't want to miss this one. Now hold on tight. What we're diving into today is one of the most talked about issues in F1 right now. F1 drivers and teams are absolutely furious with the FIA after some shocking decisions were made following the Canadian Grand Prix. Many are accusing the FIA of showing British bias, and this is not just a one-off comment. No, we're talking widespread frustration across the paddock, and it's all linked to how the FIA handled some critical calls over the weekend. So, what exactly happened? Why are drivers and teams so upset? Was the FIA's decision-making really influenced by national bias? Or is this just another example of F1's never-ending drama? Let's break it all down. Let's start with the key moments from the Canadian Grand Prix. It was an intense race, one where strategy played a crucial role. The Canadian GP is often known for throwing curveballs, and this year, it certainly didn't disappoint. But what caught everyone off guard was how the FIA handled certain situations. After the race, drivers were quick to voice their opinions, with many claiming that the FIA's rulings were inconsistent and unfair. First up, we have the controversial penalties handed down to certain drivers. In one instance, a driver was penalized for an incident that many felt was not their fault. Others, however, got away with similar offenses. This sparked outrage in the paddock. We heard loud complaints from both top drivers and team principals about the lack of consistency in applying the rules. The penalty system in F1 has always been a point of contention, but what made this situation particularly frustrating for many was that the penalties seemed to favor certain teams that just so happened to be based in the UK. Now, let's dive into the big accusation: British bias at the FIA. We're talking about decisions that some say unfairly benefited British teams, including Mercedes and Aston Martin. Drivers like Lewis Hamilton and George Russell found themselves at the center of these discussions. And as you might expect, this has sparked a huge debate. Is this an isolated incident, or is there a deeper issue at play? Some argue that the FIA has been too lenient when it comes to British teams, while others point out that they're simply following the rules to the letter. But here's the thing. When the same decisions seem to favor certain teams, again and again, it starts to raise some serious questions about impartiality. After the race, several prominent drivers came forward to express their concerns. Max Verstappen, the reigning world champion, was one of the first to voice his dissatisfaction. Verstappen, known for speaking his mind, didn't hold back. He stated that the FIA's inconsistent rulings were making it harder for the drivers to trust the system. And it wasn't just Verstappen. We also heard from Sebastian Vettel, who has been outspoken about FIA decisions throughout his career. Vettel echoed similar concerns, calling for greater transparency from the governing body. These kinds of comments from the veterans are not to be taken lightly, especially when they involve long-standing members of the sport. Now let's talk about the FIA. For those who might not know, the FIA is the governing body of motorsport, responsible for overseeing rules, regulations, and safety across all racing series, including F1. Their job is to ensure fair play, safety, and consistency. But when drivers feel like these principles are being compromised, things get complicated. Every decision the FIA makes has the potential to impact the outcome of the championship. And with the stakes as high as they are, it's crucial that their calls are perceived as fair and unbiased. But when controversies like this arise, they challenge the integrity of the sport. All right, let's pause the drama for a second and throw a quick trivia question your way. Here's a fun one. Which driver holds the record for the most Grand Prix wins in a single season? You've got a few seconds to think it over. Drop your answers in the comments. Now, going back to the controversy, what does this all mean for the future of F1? If this perception of bias continues, it could lead to a major shakeup in how the sport operates. Teams and drivers will be looking to the FIA for clarification on what exactly went wrong and how they plan to fix it moving forward. Will we see a change in the way the FIA handles penalties and rule enforcement in the future? Will these controversies push F1 into a new era of greater transparency, or will they spark even more conflict? The answer could have a lasting impact on the championship and the sport as a whole. With the season heating up, all eyes are on how the FIA will navigate these troubled waters. Can they regain the trust of the drivers and teams, or will the whispers of bias continue to haunt the sport? And let's not forget the championship race itself is incredibly tight. Every point counts, and any controversy could influence the title fight. In a sport as competitive as F1, where the margins are razor thin, every call matters. As we head into the next race weekend, the big question is, will we see more controversies? Will this push for a more transparent FIA lead to significant changes, or will things stay the same? The drama is far from over, and it's going to be fascinating to watch how it unfolds. So, what do you think? Is there a real British bias happening in F1, or is this all just a series of misunderstandings? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with all your fellow F1 fans. Fuel Up Daily is your go-to source for F1 news, and we'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and insider info. Until then, keep fueling your passion for F1.